Hi everyone, and welcome to Paper Pumpkin Week here on Creative Chelsey. Today I'm sharing with you my 7th and last alternative project using the August 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit called Farmhouse Florals. The kit creates a total of 9 cards, 3 in these 3 different designs, and it does include coordinating envelopes. If you'd like to watch me unbox the kit and create these cards or see any of my other alternative projects, you can click on the playlist in the top right corner. So today we are going to do a fun technique called paper piecing, and you can do it with pattern paper or even with stamped images. And we're also going to be creating this fun distress pattern for the background on our last piece of card base from the kit. And what's great about this card is you can really recreate it using any color scheme you choose. And I hope you enjoy making it along with me. Just as a quick side note, I have created a cutting guide showing you how to cut the pieces from the kit. If you're interested in checking that out, you can do so using the link in the description box below, or you can see it on my blog, creativechelsey.com. So we're going to stamp on this piece first. This is the last piece from the card base from the kit, and we're going to create a distressed pattern using Petunia Pop and the pattern background. And this is a really fun technique, and all you're going to do is stamp it and then stamp it again and keep stamping until it kind of disappears. And it doesn't need to be in a perfect pattern. It can be off to the side or wherever you want. It can overlap as well. Let's see, I think I want a little darker color there. And then we'll do here. And you just keep repeating this until you get a look that you like. So what's nice about this type of design is that it is a lot easier because you're not trying to line up the pattern. It's really very forgiving. And this size that I'm using is 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4 by 5 inches. That's the size, and we're going to then back it with a similar size of Petunia Pop. So that, again, that's 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And we're just going to pop it on at an angle, maybe something like this. Just kind of play around with the angle until you get something you like. You can either have it be a wider angle so that you can get more of the color, or it can be shallow angle. So whatever you like for that. And I'm going to add it to a card base of Cloud Cover. I really loved playing around with this color for this kit. It's nice and soft blue, which pulls in some of the other blues that we're going to be using as well. And just pop that on at an angle in the center somewhere. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's a fun, quick and easy card here. Just like that. All right, so from just kind of going along with some of the purpley colors we're using, I'm going to use Bubble Bath, and I'm going to cut myself another one of the circles from the Circle of Season dies. And I'm just going to add that right to the center of my card, or off to the left a little bit. It really doesn't matter, wherever looks good to you. Okay, so something like this. And now we are ready for the fun techniques. I have been using my envelope paper just to stamp on, and we're going to continue that today. So we're going to have to use the pattern for our teapot. So we're going to take our teapot and the Secret Sea ink, here we go, and we're going to stamp it on the pattern paper first, and then we're going to stamp it again on our envelope paper, just anywhere. Okay, just like that. And just like this. Okay. Then on the paper here, we're going to take some garden green ink, and we've got that big grouping of flowers. We're going to start with the garden green ink, and we're going to stamp it. All right, I just want to make sure we get good coverage. So stamp it once, then you're going to need to clean it. And then once you've cleaned it, you're going to stamp it in 2 different colors that you want the flowers to be. So I'm going to do Petunia Pop just to coordinate. And then I'm also going to do Berry Burst, which is just a little darker purple color. Okay, so I have Petunia Pop, Berry Burst, and Garden Green, and then the Secret C for my teapot. Okay, so it's going to look like this, and we are going to fussy cut out our pattern first. When we fussy cut this, we do want to cut right on the edge of that stamped image. So normally when I fussy cut, I create a border, but when you do paper piecing, you want to sometimes cut right along that edge, so that way the pieces fit together the way you want them to, which is we want this pattern to sit inside our teapot, the handle, and the inside of the handle. So when you come around the bottom here, go ahead and snip through the handle. Just keep in mind that you are going to glue this all down, and so it's going to be seamless looking. And then you can kind of come inside and cut. Now, because we're doing color on color, it might be a little hard to see, you know, where you're cutting, where the stamp is. So just, you know, make sure you're working in a well-lit room. You don't have too much shadow where you are. I've got a little window that's right in front of me, so that gives me some really good light as long as the sun is shining. So there is my teapot. All right, so next we're going to cut out some of the flowers that we're going to overlap the stamped flowers. So I'm going to do the larger flowers are going to be Petunia Pop, and the smaller flowers are going to be Berry Burst. Okay, so for these ones, you do want to get close, but you don't need to cut right on the edge. You can give it a little bit of a border if you want. Okay, a little close up. Okay, let's do this one down here. Okay, and then we'll do this big one right here. And then we're going to do the same thing for all the other flowers, but in Berry Burst. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to fussy cut out my green and my teapot, and then I'll show you how these all come together. Okay, so I've got everything done. I'm going to go ahead and start with my teapot, and I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue to the inside where I stamped. Make sure to do the handle as well. Then you're going to take your pattern teapot and you're just going to pop it right into the stamped teapot. And then just make sure everything fits in place. Just like that. So cute. We're going to add this with dimensionals to the card. just off to the left side of our circle. Maybe somewhere like that. Then you're going to take your green, go ahead and add this as well. With dimensionals, just tuck that into your teapot. Okay, and you'll see that I kind of just cut off some of the flowers. I didn't want to fussy cut around them because we've already done so here. So then I'm going to take, you can either do glue dots or liquid glue, and you're just going to add some where you're going to pop your flowers on. Let's start with this one here. It's right there. And then our large one, let's see, I think it goes like that. The hardest part of this is just making sure you put them back kind of the way they are on your card so that they kind of match back up with the shape. Okay, so cute. And let's do a couple of these berry burst flowers. We'll do these 3. Okay, so I think this is the one. I think it goes like this. I usually will look for the stem because that kind of will orient it for me. I don't know. Maybe we'll do this one here. That looks good. And then we'll do this little one right there. Okay. I think it's coming together. And then we've got a couple little ones. One there and one here. This one's the open one, and this one is the closed one. Perfect. Okay, super cute. I love this technique. If you've got the time to do some fussy cutting, it's a great technique to get different colors in one stamp. And then for our greeting, we're going to pull in one of the 1/4 inch strips that we have removed when we were cutting all of our card bases. I'm going to use the Secret C again and do one of the greetings. Let's see. This one says, "You're simply the best." My other one says, "Forever your friend." I think either of them will work. And we're just going to stamp it onto the strip. So again, this is a 1/4 inch strip. And then if you want to angle it, you can, or you can cut it straight. We're going to pop that on with dimensionals. Let's see. These ones barely fit, these little minis. So if you want to cut them down, you can. And this is going to go right around here. Wherever you put it is going to be fine. Okay, just like that. Pop that up a little bit. You're simply the best. And then you can take any color of twine. On my original, I used white. I'm going to use linen thread for this one. I like just pulling in that little bit of linen thread. We've used it on all the other alternatives, so might as well pull it in. And we're just going to tie a bow. So again, find the center, move off to the side. So my left hand here is still holding the center. My right hand has moved over, and that's just because I'm left-handed. So then I grab the center again and then wrap around. This works for me. I know a lot of people will do like the bunny ears technique where you like make your loops and then tie your loops together. So whatever works for you is great. And you can put this really wherever you want. I'm thinking maybe I put it down here today just to kind of fill in that open spot near the end, because it looks like I bumped up my teapot a little higher than I did on the original card. But that's okay. These cards can be made lots of different ways. And like I said at the beginning, you can also make this in any different, like any color scheme that you want. So I used purples and blues here, but you could do pinks and oranges, yellows, really anything that works for you is a great way to create some cards. And you can make like a stack of them with all different colors and give it away as a gift. Lots of options here with this beautiful card. If you wanted to, you could also add some embellishments. I have these antique pearls that I've been using, so I could pop those on here as well if I wanted to, or you could come up with some other cute embellishments to add to the card. But this card is all done. I hope you enjoyed watching my Paper Pumpkin Week, seeing all 7 ideas that I used with one set of supplies from the August Paper Pumpkin Kit. If you're interested in getting your own kit, please subscribe using the link in the description box below. And if you're interested in getting written instructions or seeing close-up images on how I created this card, you can visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.